quick-fire segment. But before we do that, Cricket Kenya has plunged into fresh leadership wrangles over a controversial sponsorship deal, deepening divisions and reigniting governance concerns just months after the alleged ouster of Chairman Manoj Patel. The deeply divided boss now says, I take that again, the deeply divided board now says it has suspended its partnership with Arena of Sports, halting the proposed CKT20 League that was set to begin on November 7th. At the same time, Treasurer Kennedy Obuya, who is backing the embattled chairman, insists the deal is still on, even as the wrangles threaten to taint the image of a sport that once stood tall in Kenya in the late 90s and early 2000s. Steve Shitera explains in the following report.
It is not the first time Kenya cricket has been thrown into turmoil. In 2021, then Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed intervened, installing a normalization committee chaired by retired Justice Joyce Alwoch, which birthed a new constitution to guide the federation. But 4 years later, the infight has reared its ugly head again. On Wednesday, Cricket Kenya CEO Ronald Bukusi announced the termination of the sponsorship deal with Dubai and India-based Arena of Sports, citing grave governance breaches, barely 10 days after Treasurer Kennedy Obuya had announced the deal at a press briefing in Nairobi. Arena of Sports pledged 255 million shillings over a period of 5 years.
In April 2025, Cricket Kenya entered a sponsorship agreement with AOS for a proposed franchise tournament. As required, we submitted an application for sanctioning of the tournament to the International Cricket Council, that is the ICC, and this was supported by documentation provided by AOS. Approval from the ICC has not been forthcoming. AOS unilaterally proposed a separate domestic league outside the scope of our original agreement. Despite multiple attempts by the Cricket Kenya board to get AOS to submit a fresh proposal for consideration and board sanctioning as per ICC requirements, they proceeded with a launch event against board advice. On 10th September, the board, by majority resolution, terminated its agreement with AOS, citing severe reputational damage.
The fallout comes after a turbulent year. In July, the board unanimously voted out Chairman Manoj Patel over alleged irregular dealings. Bukusi maintains the project cannot proceed without the approval of the mother international cricket body, the ICC. But Obuya is defiant and insists the tournament is still on.
If I can explain even further by telling you, we have got approval from everybody. And this time I can be very sure, I can tell you with a lot of authority, the government has supported us 100%. They were the first people to give us the approval letter. So all these Ulabalu came and every member of the board signed a contract with the OS. Yes?
Those opposed to the deal warn that the shortcuts will only damage the game, even as all sides claim to want the sport to thrive. For now, the future of the CKT20 League hangs in the balance, even as the leadership wrangles deepen, further tainting the image of a sport that once brought honor and glory to the country at the international arena, and now in dire need of revamp. Steve Shitera for Sporty Monday, Nairobi.
Of course, that's the cricket story, the boardroom squabbles. And as earlier mentioned, this is the time for the quickfire segment. And today we have none other than Ryan Wesley Ogam. He's been the talk of town after fine performances in the African Nations Championship and is